First tuk-tuk.
First tuk-tuk ride, Bangkok, no sleep.
Yeah, yeah.
The lads on tour. Enjoying your first tuk-tuk ride, Duke?
Absolutely, brilliant, brilliant. And our little driver, lovely.
Lovely man.
This is lovely, this is great. So we're off now to see the sleeping priest.
Buddha.
Oh yeah, that's the one. 1 second, and I'm just about to shake the sticks. I don't know what it's going to achieve or what's going to become of me shaking the stick, but I'm going to go for it. When in Rome, I'm going to shake the sticks. Oh, I've got number 4 stick.
Number 4 stick.
A baby boy forthcoming. See that? Hear that, Lynn?
Are you ready to shake your stick?
I'm ready to shake something. What a beautiful place. Absolutely stunning. Stunning. Just look for yourselves. It's just beautiful. Beautiful.
Why did you like the temple so much?
Because it was so peaceful and so calm and watching the monks pray, and it was just it was lovely. It was just, all of it was beautiful. Beautiful.
Dookie,
Okay.
are you ready to shake your stick?
I'm ready to shake something. It could possibly be these sticks.
Dookie, you're in a place of worship.
I'm
Keep
behaving.
it
I'm behaving.
We haven't slept for so many hours now. How do you feel of this sky bar, Duke?
Beautiful. Stunning. Lovely. The sky bar, anywhere. The views, nowhere. Not like this. It's beautiful. 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 Interest was always there right from the word go, but it took me up to, like I say, 6-7 years ago, and I was living abroad most of my life anyway. And then when I come back, I decided to put it all together, everything that was up here. I thought, right now it's going there. And I got, obviously the information was from you guys, you know, like especially. I had to get a certain amount of, obviously, knowledge, because that took me just over 6 years to put together. There's some in there that's a bit controversial, if I've got it right, if I've got it wrong. But like 99% of it is facts.
How are you feeling about these guys and
Brilliant,
everything today?
absolutely brilliant. And it, you know, what they do here is marvellous, and absolutely marvellous job on keeping us so informed on the background, and yeah, very, very good, Mark. We're so pleased we're here. Really pleased we're here. Just look around, just look around.
What were your feelings when you first pulled up outside?
Very emotional, very emotional. I look at things like this, look. Big, like leg ulcers, okay? Right? When I used to get a hot spoon and dig out the infection on the legs and then put maggots on. To like eat away the infection. The emotions all over the place. It's and we've got days to go, you know, of, sky high.
Are you impressed with the way the museum is laid out?
It's absolutely, absolutely, Mark.
I know you're aware
really,
it's a
really
private
good.
enterprise, it's owned by one man, right?
Yeah,
Who gets no funding.
no.
Duke, just for the record, tell us what Martin gave you.
He gave me 2 nails from Takanoon camp, which he found only yesterday, and he knew I was coming over, and he presented me with these 2 nails today.
So
yeah.
those nails could have held together a camp in which your father
absolutely,
slept.
absolutely.
Right.
Yeah.
I would have thought that was an incredible gift.
Absolutely, of course.
Duke, how does it feel to see, for the first time in the flesh,
Yeah,
the bridge on the River Kwai?
a little bit of a lump in the throat. Look, there it is. Like 3/4 of that is still the original bridge. What the prisoners built. And here's the River Kwai.
Here's the River Kwai, Duke.
On the bridge now. We're on the bridge, and I'm just going to take a photograph of a rivet that my brother tripped over a few years back now, and I've just done the same. I've just tripped on the same rivet.
Well, here's the thing, look at this. I'm standing on the bridge on the River Kwai.
How many prisoners that built this bridge walked across it after 14, 16, sometimes 18 hours a day back to their camp? Well, there was a few that didn't make it, I can tell you that now for sure. Oh, terrible, terrible.
He stays at Nompuduk most of the time, and in December 1944, the second bombing raid at Nompuduk, he was killed in the Allied bombing. Interesting story, because about 5, well, maybe 6, 7 years ago, his family came up with his wife's ashes, because if you're a relative of somebody buried here, you know, like a son or a wife, you can be buried next door. Their ashes are down there.
Yeah,
right? You can't have a sign there, but the Commonwealth War Graves will allow you to put the ashes of a loved one next door, right? Okay, now, the interesting thing is that he died obviously in 1944. They'd been married pre that. Well, his wife remarried, right? And had children for their second marriage. But it's the children of her second marriage that brought her ashes up to put with her first husband. Yeah. Because they realised how much she loved her first husband, and that's who she wanted to be with. So it was quite an emotional thing to see her children bringing up to the... Yeah, I was here. Yeah, I read the ode over the top of this thing, you know. And she's buried just down there. As I said, that was the story.
I'm in Chung Kai War Cemetery, and I'm finding the whole thing extremely moving. one story particularly touched me today. One of the museum researchers that is accompanying us today told me, and it's about a man. He used to look after, here there's a river to my left, and over here they used to bring the sick prisoners from up country to a hospital where the majority of them died, but he used to take care of them as a nurse, and he survived the war, and many times over the years he would come here and talk to the men that died in his care. Apparently he just would come and talk to them, and he died as an old man, and no one's allowed to be buried here, even if you were a prisoner and died after the war. You can't be buried here, there are strict rules. But a young couple he befriended got to know the guys that own the museum, and they sort of have close contacts here, and they secretly, not secretly, but they scattered these ashes around this tree here, just in that little gap there where we just pulled out a couple of weeds, and his ashes lie there, which is lovely, and it's breaking convention, but many times he came here just to talk to the men that died in his care, and yeah, so it's a beautiful story. What's the significance of this place?
This was Granddad's first camp from Chiang Kai to here. This railway here you're seeing now is what he helped to lay, and the camp was there, which is overgrown obviously, but that's where the camp was.
How does it feel to be here, Dick?
How do you think?
Oh no, tell me.
How do you think? Yeah. I could be standing now and where he was standing, you know. Yeah?
Where are we here, Duke?
Wan Takanan.
And
Wan
what's the-
Takanan. This is the second camp that Dad was in. Here. This was it here.
The significance is immense, really, isn't it?
Yeah,
Because
absolutely.
you could be standing on the ground now where he was. Yeah.
Where he actually was. This was it. This was the camp. No road here then. There was nothing. It was just dense forest. Yeah, this is another camp that he stopped at for we don't know how long, but he stopped here between camps, and the railway that you see now is he laid this track. He was here. He was right here. Yeah, look, as you can see the track.
I find that very emotional.
Yeah.
He was so far away from home. That's what I keep thinking.
Yeah, Mark, yeah. Look, it could have been right here where we're standing now, on this certain part of this track, laying this track here, laying this, in this heat, starving.
But he had a little
Starving.
boy at home, he was my dad.
Mm.
And they put them down, and then somebody has a measuring stick to measure it 1 metre.
Yeah.
Okay, and then there's a couple of guys with drills, and they'll drill into the sleeper, and the guys will be putting the railway spikes in. They'll do that, and then the train will move up to the end of that one, and we'll do it again. And they'll just keep going, bang, 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 until the end of the day. Then the train just backs all the way back to where it started, and go to sleep. So after you've done that for a week or 10 days, you're 10 kilometres up there. Everybody hops on the train, you move to a new camp. and then you do it again.
If you're out in the open as much
Yeah.
as you are here, how many of them tried to escape or didn't they?
Well, there was a
Some
few,
did.
Mark, there was a few.
Well, there was a group of 5 guys up here, up at Tarka Lane, which is the next camp. They escaped in probably around March, I think, March or April of 43. And they escaped and went in the jungle, and they got to a point and they said, "This is hopeless. We haven't got enough food. We don't know where we're going."
Yeah.
So they gave themselves up. Sorry, we escaped. They came back. So they put them back in the camp. They took them back down to Chiang Kai. They put them in the camp there. A few days later, a week later, the Japanese said, "Come with us." Put them on the back of the truck with some shovels. They drove them up.
Dig your own
You
grave.
dig your hole,
Dig
dig
your
your
own
grave,
grave,
line
yeah.
them up and shot them.
We're now on the Wang Po viaduct. What Granddad, my dad built, helped to build. If you look down and see the height of the viaduct, the cutting out from the cliff.
Are you okay? You all right?
There's a cutting, there's a stream coming in here.
Yeah, because you can't get
Because
round.
normally it's nothing like that. There's just so much rain recently.
Yeah,
Normally it's just a little sort of a stream,
yeah.
but it comes all out of the mountains up there. A lot of times that's clear, but it's a bit overgrown for the moment. That's a big cutting going straight down there.
Yeah,
Okay, so
yeah,
we'll
through.
walk around this way.
Right.
I tell him not need to unlock, we okay now.
Yeah, okay.
What's it feel like to be walking in your father's footsteps? Exactly.
Humbling, emotional. So it feels. Knowing that he walked, not just walked along here, worked along here. Worked along here.
This is what it looked like, dude.
Yeah.
This is what it felt like.
Not like this. This is. It was more overgrown than this.
Oh yeah, initially. But without doubt, he's been here.
Yeah, yeah.
It's really difficult to explain what I'm feeling right now. I don't think I've ever been as hot or wet. I just look and feel like I've just jumped in a swimming pool with my clothes on. We're hacking our way through the jungle just outside Tankunun camp, where my grandfather built some of the Death Railway, and a lot of it is overgrown, so we've been looking for where the tracks were laid, and the conditions are unbearable. And they did it with illness, nothing in their belly, often nothing on their feet.
Every day they got up and they walked across the bridge, and they were working over here because the bridge wasn't finished, but it had enough that you could walk across. And their job was to do this stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, so what we have to do is get down there and walk around there until we pick up the other end of the railway there.
ถ้าคุณล้อจะขุดอันนี้ให้ขุดนี่ดูเขาทำให้มีถ่ายรูปไปดูโอ้ยแค่ปุ๊บ
So that you can see where they've lined it with rocks.
Yeah.
So it doesn't get undermined, it just flows through. So you go all that attention to detail is not just what you're snapping together a railway in 2 seconds and away we go. They're working hard, but they're spending the time to do this because they know it'll undermine the bridge if they don't.
Yeah.
It feels so wrong to just be here in Takanun in unbearable conditions where we are soaking wet, exhausted, and this is the men worked building railways and digging embankments for days on end in insufferable conditions, and here I am drinking a Diet Coke with a nice wet wipe for the back of my neck. This is the life. Well, here I am in the back of a truck with bow and boom. We're going through very rough terrain. We're in Takanun, aren't we?
yes
Yes, here we are. All good stuff, of course. Jesus Christ. There we go. That's how bumpy this is. How you doing, Bao?
โอเคเอาระวังไม้ไผ่ก่อน
Boom. Are you alright?
I'm okay
Yeah, sure we are. Whoa! No way! So we are at the last part of the Takanum base camp on day 4. We were here yesterday, but we're the other side of the river, and it was inaccessible, so we had to come in that pickup truck, and it was quite a ride, I can tell you. But the cemetery is to our left here, and I'm now walking on where the original railway was.
This was his last camp. Yeah? His last camp before becoming ill and then being transported down to Chiang Kai. So this is the last one. If you look down now, this was the railway.
So Grandad was here.
This was they dug all this out.
Yeah.
This was a level, all level it. They dug this out. This embankment has all completely been dug out by the prisoners, and this was Grandad's last place on the railway.
So really, Duke, the truth of the matter is that this is kind of hallowed ground, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And yet
You
again,
can see here is look. This was all the chippings between the sleepers. Okay.
yeah.
Look, these are all the original The sleepers are gone now. They've all been gone, and the rail obviously. But this is a look, and the cutting. They cut all this out by hand.
Yeah, that's pretty extraordinary, right?
Yeah.
I think also, Duke, yet again, this is not even the height of summer, but the heat is unbearable.
Yeah. But think, like I said to you before, think of, they would have heard this sound every day. Every day they was here, they would have heard what we're hearing now.
Yeah.
You know?
And there's the clink, clink, clink of axes and things going on.
Yeah.
I mean, this cutting is what, 50 metres long? It's only about, I don't know, 2 metres high, 2.5 metres high.
Yeah.
And somebody's had to cut all this through.
Yeah,
Could have been
right.
your old man.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And I moan when I have to plant a rose bush.
This is Takanoon, base camp. Here, what you see in front of you all here. Across there, this is where Granddad and Dad was here. And beyond that is the Takanoon cemetery, where they buried a lot of the prisoners that died here.
Granddad was here.
He was here. He was
This is
here.
where he stayed.
He was
Here.
here. His last camp before becoming ill, falling ill, and being transported down to Chiang Kai.
And today, that is all that remains of base camp. Where my grandfather stayed. Got there, Duke?
Belt buckle, okay? Could have belonged to Granddad. Could have belonged to Dad, couldn't it? Could have done. We don't know, but it's a memento.
Doesn't matter who it's from, right?
That's right. It's a memento from this site of Takanoon. If you look over there, them trees wasn't there 10 years ago, 15 years ago. There were huts along there. And we found, well, I had actually a fire pit. All right?
Really?
Yeah, there's a fire pit over there. And Chris will tell you a bit more. Wouldn't you, Chris?
Tell us about the fire pit, Chris.
Well, when we went into the areas where the huts were, we found a cooking area.
Yeah.
So we've been in the cooking area for the 3 main huts that were there. When we've gone further along here, we found evidence of tented accommodation along here as well, in the 3 main huts here. But the buckle strap that we just found, a 37-pound buckle, was just as evidence that the guys were in there, and it's a good find. It's only one find, but it's a good find.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's
a
proof
good find.
positive that
It's a good find.
yeah, and as Duke said, it could be anyone's piece of kit. Of course it could, but the relevance of it is his old man was here.
Yeah, it was someone's kid.
It was somebody
someone's.
who probably knew his father, so it's all good.
Yeah.
How you
it's
feeling
all
about that, Duke?
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
Big deal, right?
Good.
Are you ready for the homeward journey? Are you ready? Yeah. Okay, here we go.
Okay.
This is quite rough, honestly. The Big Dipper at Blackpool Pleasure Beach has nothing on this. Oh, here we go. So we've just spun off the road. Whoops.
Ah.
So we're trying to dig it out now. And you can see how precariously balanced it is here. Just, anyway, it's hanging right over the edge.
She moved. Yeah, she's moved a bit. The other way, forward.
Hey!
Keep going.
With a whistle of incredulity and dismay, we learnt that we were to make a cutting into a rocky mountain. The primitive tools and earth-carrying stretchers were issued immediately, and we commenced work on the cutting that was to become the most infamous section of the railway, Hellfire Pass. Men toiled and sweated and were driven mercilessly. Men were flogged and men collapsed. Men were battered, limbs were broken, men died.
I can see the guys, you know, like.
Yeah. You see, what you got to also think about it is, yes, they're working hard on this, but all the stuff we saw yesterday, all those cuttings and embankments, are just as amazing
Important,
as this.
yeah,
but
yeah.
they're done. It's in a smaller scale.
Yeah, that's right.
You know, they're not as big cuttings, but they're a lot longer.
Yeah.
They're not as big embankments as some, but they're pretty big and they go
Yeah.
for a long way. So,
Yeah.
so the work that went into that is just the same as the work that went into this, but this is just a bit more
On a bigger
spectacular. Can we
scale,
get to
yeah,
it? Well,
yeah.
you know, if we could go through that cutting embankment that we walked next to yesterday, all the way up to where the bridge is,
Yeah.
you'd be amazed because you'd be walking through this cutting and it just kept going and going. Oh, the next one on embankment and then another cutting, and you go, somebody made all this.
Yeah.
This is all. It wasn't here. The ground was up and down like that.
Yeah.
Now they've flattened it out.
Yeah.
One of the ways that they got rocks out of here was a little light gauge railway down here, over there, tipped them out, and knew it was like an ore skip.
Yeah.
So then he looked around and he found an ore skip up at a place called Pelock, which is up just near Tarkanoo, just up near the dam up there.
Yeah, okay.
So we drove up there in his old truck. He picked that up. He brought it here. We bought it. Brought it here. Carried it up there. Put in the rails there. Put in the truck. All ready. Built the stairs. All these stairs he built.
Go on, what were you saying about this?
Yeah, how important this what L5 pass has been in my life. You know, I've always looked upon this as one of the worst places on the railway. But then wherever they worked on the railway, it was bad. But here seems
Particularly brutal.
yeah, and that tree is like, to me, is like a monument to those that died here. You know? Those that built this railway, this part of the railway here.
But which was the nationality that suffered most here? Was
Australians.
it the Aussies? Yeah?
Australians. Australians, yeah.
I always think, though, the thing that gets me most, which you can't square, is that everywhere you look, if this wasn't horrific, this could be marketed as a really beautiful place to come for a holiday.
Do you know,
You know,
absolutely.
and that's
and
the-
also, I've said, this should be the eighth wonder of the world, because it is a wonder to those. People should come
To have
here.
dug this out of with their hands.
Their bare hands. You know.
In terrible
All right,
conditions.
The Japanese used the dynamite, yeah, but it was all the work of the prisoners.
You know, so Hellfire Pass has like been the highlight of the whole. The highlight sounds terrible, doesn't it? Of this trip along the Death Railway, but I keep struggling with trying to square all this suffering with just exquisite beauty. They would understand that though, right? Right? Maybe not. So here's an absolute treat for me, like you can't imagine. And it's a very sort of sound elephant park. Apparently, we're the only ones here. But look who is behind me. Oh, hello. Where are we then?
On top of an elephant.
Jesus Christ. Wow.
Oh.
And she's lovely. Oops, and she stopped.
Oh, it's a red light.
Check out that handsome beast. There we go, in the water. I wonder if she welcomes that. Wow.
She's strong enough to do this. Oh, yeah.
Right, here we are then on a long-tailed boat, just about to go under the bridge over the Kwai, which is a bit of an adventure, and then we're going to be turning around and going to the caves, and there's a little coffee hut there. We're going to have a nice coffee. Quite civilized, I reckon. It's extremely exciting to actually be on the River Kwai itself in a boat. Excellent stuff. There we are, Uncle. We are about to go under the bridge over the River Kwai. I never ever thought I'd be doing that, I can tell you right now. Here we go. Under it we go, Dookie. Wowza. So fast! So fast! You want speed? Here it is! Jesus, we are really bombing along here! That's my speedboat! Whoa! The old way bloody down the river. Oh, I could do it, I tell you.
Yeah, me and all. All the way down.
Yeah.
All the way down.
What did you come here to do then?
To try and take as many photographs of the graves that I could for the families back home that in one way or another couldn't get over here, COVID, whatever reason they couldn't get here. So I've tried to take every single photo that I could of their graves. If I've missed any, then I'm so sorry. Yeah, and so I can let the family see their gravestones, see their plaques, their grave plaques.
This is a big moment for me personally, rather than for Dookie, because I know that my dad came here. This is where my dad came several times, and he used to show me these photos when I was a young teenager and I wasn't particularly interested. And I'm 60 next year, and I've got here, Dad. Yeah.
We're at Bang Pong Station now. This is the first station that all the prisoners arrived at from Singapore. This is like a transit camp. They arrived here and then they had to walk from here up the railway towards Kanchanaburi. So this is what Bang Pong is. It's basically the first stop from Singapore for 4 nights to 5 nights in metal trucks to arrive here in Bang Pong and then move on from here.